As head of an international organization tasked with the defense of Earth against a full-scale alien invasion, XCOM requires you to put lives in grave danger with every move you make. Your organization must respond to threats around the globe, engage the enemy, and haul back their corpses and weaponry so that your research might gradually even the odds in the face of overwhelming technological superiority. You'll have these same exact objectives in Enemy Within, but this expansion paints an alternate version of humanity's last stand. It's the same story with more embellishment, letting you modify your troops with alien DNA or amputate their limbs to let them interface with intimidating mechanized suits. The game veers a bit closer to sci-fi silliness than the original, with men in giant robot suits punching little gray guys in giant robot suits, but you'll be better off if you simply embrace it.
Repeat.
This escalated what-if scenario unlocks humanity's potential and attempts to rebalance the scales with a greater threat, bolstering the alien military with new creatures and introducing Exalt, an organization of rogue humans that work to undermine your efforts as you battle your otherworldly adversaries. The developers are effectively playing arms dealer here, sustaining the war they started in Enemy Unknown and keeping things interesting by selling to both sides.
Commander, I'm glad to see that I'm not the only one who understands this war isn't over yet.
The plan works. It's still up to players to decide what facilities to build in your base, what to research, and what to manufacture, but the so-called mech units are available early on and are almost too powerful to pass up. This new soldier class to the game expands your combat options with heavy weapons and incredible durability that sharply contrasts with the distressingly squishy nature of your typical recruits. Gene mods aren't as flashy and have a less immediate impact on how you play, but splicing alien organs is great for fine-tuning your soldiers in combination with the addition of performance-enhancing metals. The expanded customization in Enemy Within gives you more ways to eliminate weaknesses and emphasize strengths in any individual class, to build what feels like a true super soldier. Your team is a true reflection of how you've played, and when you send a capable team out to get things done, you'll feel a real sense of pride. You're also likely to experience some measure of fear, because the more you invest in one of these deeply customizable soldiers, the more it hurts if you lose them.
I can't take much more of this!
The death of a soldier can be sudden and unexpected, and it's tough to shirk the feeling of responsibility, even if it's mostly due to a bad roll of the dice. Depending on how you've configured the game's difficulty, the loss could be irreversible, and you'll simply have to move on and adapt. XCOM is full of tension, but the moments of triumph and relief make the risks you take worthwhile. Your decisions matter, whether it's turning a man into a machine, deciding to take an iffy shot, researching better armor before advanced weapons, or weighing short-term gain versus long-term security when selecting your next mission. Enemy Within succeeds in adding complexity without making these choices feel any less important. A few of the game's ideas are intended as improvements or corrections. To fuel your development of mechs and alien DNA, you'll need to collect a resource called Meld on the battlefield. Because this stuff actually feels valuable and expires in a set number of turns, simply making the most conservative moves is no longer ideal. The way enemies engage your forces still feels very reactive as you meet and reveal hostile groups, but Meld provides a strong incentive to play more aggressively. Enemy Within also switches things up with Exalt, an evil organization apparently united by their twisted worldview and peculiar fashion sense. Dealing with the group is an ongoing process, requiring you to scan the world map to reveal cells, and then send lightly armored agents out for covert missions. These agents will be joined later by full squads to complete hacking or point-controlled objectives before extraction. You'll collect pieces of intelligence that will eventually let you pinpoint their base to wipe them out for good, which feels something like an open-book high school geography test, and something your subordinates should probably be doing for you. The added mission variety is easy to appreciate, but despite adding some interest to the mid-game, this weirdo cabal can't escape coming off as a slightly underdeveloped addition. There's certainly more to this new version of XCOM, including small but notable additions like new items and Foundry projects, new maps, new multiplayer units, and a significant event that many fans expected to happen in the original. It's also worth noting that the package includes the collection of DLC missions Operation Slingshot, as well as the new Operation Progeny, offering 2 optional mini-story arcs and the opportunity to acquire a few unique soldiers.
Kill confirmed.
It would be hard to recommend a player try the expansion without playing the original first, but fortunately running the game on Steam requires ownership of Enemy Unknown, and the console release will include both old and new versions. Enemy Within isn't the definitive version of XCOM, but it's a smart and satisfying extension of a game ideal for enticing players back for a second, third, or maybe even fourth playthrough.